I just want to make this before I forget. So, for my meditations, I used to take it as a fact, I guess, that the ego is going to stay through life. And then we would just take the egoic mind stories and put them in a little animal in my right palm, is what I used to do. And now, channeling Neem Karoli Baba for a couple clients, and then for myself, why not? I just want to say this quick. He's sort of doing a plug for Krishna Das. So Krishna Das does these concerts that are not like normal concerts. It's called kirtan or something like that. It's a challenge and response thing, and I went to it with my friend Nicole and Mariah, and so I was talking to Neem Karoli Baba while we were there, and Neem Karoli Baba was saying, "Isn't he doing such a great job?" So Krishna Das learned from Neem Karoli Baba a while ago. I don't want to call him OLD, but and then he's sharing what he got out of Neem Karoli Baba with the world in this way. And I want to say now, for Neem Karoli Baba, to whoever listens, that Krishna Das is doing a great job with whatever he learned from Baba Maharaji. He calls him his guru. He keeps things very simple words, but a powerful intention. It's very healing. What else do you want to say? The energy is, it's like this, between the people on stage and the people in the audience. There's no trigger words. Peace, and it's like a back and forth. Peace and it's like a giving, healing thing. It's like two people giving healing to each other at the same time. That's what it's like. Okay, and then so two people giving to each other at the same time, raising the vibration like this. And then it ends. And then you leave and you go, you take what you can from that room. And it does something to your brain too. He's showing me it helps smooth lines of hate that may be kind of pathways in your brain. It kind of smooths them. It doesn't erase them completely. You'd have to be immersed for I don't know. Depends on the person, but some people a year. You'd have to be immersed in that kind of a kirtan culture to completely erase all the lines in your brain of hate programming. We're going to call it all programming. Yes, because the human being is not natural to hate. So any hate that exists is programming. Any dis-ease in the human is programming. It's a result of programming. So even when the human is not being loving, then they are at peace. So they're normal humans, yeah. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. You take what you can from this, okay? Normal humans will vibrate at love and peace for the most part, unless interfered with. Because humans have like a, it's like a divinity, internal, that connects to external. They naturally want to take care of the earth, their home. So it's all programming that that results in hate, war, fear. Bad behavior. Okay, now, so when I started Renegade Yogi, I was in a different place. I don't know when I started it. I don't remember, but it was over a year ago. So when I started Renegade Yogi, my goal was to live a spirit-directed life, put my spirit in charge of a spirit-directed life. And I always treated my ego as like a middle manager. If I think about myself as I just started this major corporation, I'm the CEO of this major corporation, and I have branches all over the world. Well, when I started the company from my parents' house, I opened up a little tiny office first in my hometown. Since then, I've grown, I got these places all over the world. But I won't shut down that little office. I won't shut this little office down because that was my first place. That was my first office. Now, it breaks even or even loses money on a regular basis. The manager of that office is always stressed out, always trying to make money for me in the company, but usually just breaks even. So this middle manager in this tiny little office that I first started, my first office, I won't close that office. Okay. I won't close that office because that was my first, that's where I first started. So the manager of that office, okay, is my ego. So that manager's trying to make money for me, but can't. Trying to create profit for me, create profit margins, is worried that I'm going to shut down this office, but I won't because I'm attached to it. So Neem Karoli Baba says, it is time to shut down that office. It is time now to shut down the office. So I'm making this video now because I understand now why I was incorrect, or wasn't incorrect, but at the time I said, well, we keep the ego so that we can have like basically a foot in the real world and a foot in the spiritual world. And so now with so he's helping me now and I'm accepting his help. The goal has changed to just getting rid of the ego, not being attached to the ego, not being attached to that first office where the ego is the manager. He's managing that office, or she's managing that office, and she's always freaked out, or he's always freaked out because we're not making profits. Carla's going to shut it down. We better, find something to do. So by keeping that office open, I keep in my energy field someone who is totally stressed out all the time. If they're that stressed all the time, just like my ego is, if I keep them, I'm keeping stress in my life only because of attachment. Attachment, resistance, pain, suffering. They all go together. Bam, bam, bam. Like dominoes, he says. One leads to the other. There is nothing anyone can do to stop. So by holding on to an attachment to this ego middle manager, okay. Okay, so we have a lot of dogs in our neighborhood. Okay. By me holding on to the middle manager in that office, just because, oh, it's my first office, it's so cute. In fact, I have one chair left. When I bought my first house, like But I invited someone over and I'm like, oh my God, I have no furniture. So I went to Pier 1 Imports and I bought like, um, these outdoor chairs. And they're like sling chairs, that's what it is. One ripped, the other one's really it's a mess, but I keep it because it's my first piece of furniture I ever bought. But I don't need to keep it. It's not, it's an attachment. Oh. So now the weight of the attachment is really hitting me. That chair, it's like, seeing that chair reminds me that the other one's gone. It reminds me of my old house. It reminds me of this. It reminds me of that. But I have a new now. I have a new present. A new now. And my previous now, where those chairs were brand new in my living room, my previous now got me to this point. So that's all the life raft. So I used the life raft across the river, but I don't want to drag the life raft up the mountain. I want to leave it and go up. And so my own ego is a life raft. My own ego is a life raft that got me here now. And me thinking, it's like remember Emo Phillips? It was a comedian. I'm almost positive that's his name. And he says, oh, I'm like the smartest person that I know or something. But then I thought, look at who's telling me that. Something like this. I'll have to find it. Oh God, that's so funny. So anyway, it's like, who's telling me to keep my ego just in check over here? It's my ego. So it's still controlling me by pretending, by like ventriloquisting into the voice of my spirit. No, I'm your spirit. You're just gonna, your ego stays forever, and that's how it is. And you can have one foot in each world, and then you can enjoy yourself more. So I'm seeing now that that's not true. I'm seeing now that my ego is what made me cry when my open-minded healing friend said that the red MAGA hat means Make America White Again, when there's black people wearing it. I mean, it could mean that to her, and that's perfectly fine. But what was hurting me was that she believed that about other people. And I could see like how much pain she's causing herself. I mean, if you believe that that's what that hat means, and then you see it, that's what's triggering people. It's like, why is she triggering herself? But it wasn't just like, why is she triggering herself? What was happening for me in that moment where I was crying, like, oh my God, even these people that I think are these such high vibrational, loving, good people are like programmed. That they believe that they know what that person thought when they put that hat on. And that's just pure ego arrogance to think that importing motive, it's just pure ego arrogance. But I see now that in order to save myself from getting upset or triggered, I have to totally splinter off and dismantle and, break, is his words, break my own ego. I have to break my ego. That's what keeps me afraid to talk. I can't live stream anymore on YouTube because they changed the rules. You have to have 1,000 subscribers. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to ask for subscribers. I'm not going to actively try. It's like whoever finds me, finds me. But any of my ego that I keep around is going to negatively impact me. And in today's meditation, Sunday the 23rd, right? Sunday, June 23rd, 2019, in today's meditation, I saw how negatively impacted people's adrenals and their kidneys and their minds are from ego stories, including mine. And I know this isn't for everyone. I don't expect, I really don't. But if I keep my ego, or even just make him small, if I just keep my ego and make it little, it's still gonna park in the blind spots. It's still gonna make me think things like everybody should move toward love, everybody should stop fighting. And that's just steamrolling free choice, free will. The other thing I wanted to mention, okay, so that's a change in the Renegade Yogi stuff. So now the goal is not to just keep your ego in check. It's to completely dismantle, it's to break your own ego. Break it. Lovingly, as the raft that helped me cross the river, get me to here now, and now I'm going to climb the mountain. And as Neem Karoli Baba says, the most power is the most peace, where you're so clean, the energy is like so light, clean, free, you can pass through the eye of a needle. And I wish I could teach people how to get this, but that's not how it's supposed to go, because then I don't have a path and an offering to humanity. I have to just stop being scared, egoic mind stories, scaring me from sharing what I'm afraid people are going to think I'm crazy. And although I can love myself through that and say, yeah, like that makes perfect sense, totally normal and natural, that you would think that if you're telling people these things that you're getting from people who aren't here, makes you crazy, like that makes perfect sense. But I remember either last summer or the one before, I said, I got to teach people how to hear people who've passed. I just want to teach people how, then they can get it for themselves. And my mom, who's been gone since 2001, said, would you just stop with that? Just do it. Just do. Not everybody can do it. You think everyone can do it because you can do it? That's what everybody takes their stuff for granted, And don't waste your time trying to teach people that. Just do it. So, noted, All right, so that's the change in Renegade Yogi. Now we're going to break the ego. And I do see now how even a little ego is going to flare up. It's going to have these flare-ups. And anytime there's a flare-up, that's going to give you actions, okay, that give you consequences. So positive actions give you positive consequences, but negative actions will give me negative consequences. So that's where we are now. The one other thing I want to say is, I just did a healing last week, and this person has medical conditions. So this is how the picture shifted for me working with this person. So Neem Karoli Baba said, so he talks to me for this client. So because this person has medical issues, Neem Karoli Baba was showing me there's a circle. I'm going to do it like this. Circle of with this person's whole entire, everything that has to do with this person is a circle. And if you think of it as like a pie chart, 1/3 is the physical, the doctor part. 1/3 is the doctor part. Okay, what's needed with this doctor at this moment in time, this person's existence, this will shift. But at this moment in time, because of sickness, because of fear and sickness, blah, 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 there's 1/3 of the circle that I channeled. He brought in a doctor for me to channel for the client. And then the other 2/3 was like Neem Karoli Baba. So he said, so Neem Karoli Baba said, even though my stuff, my information for this person is 2/3, and this doctor that I'm bringing is only 1/3, we're going to pretend that that 1/3 is the whole thing. Right now, to give it the weight and the attention that it needs now. But we know that it's really, the 2/3 is the spiritual stuff, and the Neem Karoli Baba, it teaches how to, everything. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that's all Neem Karoli Baba. So the doctor's just this physical part, which happens to be a whole third because right now, because of the condition, or the situation, the condition that the physical body now holds. So now he showed me the circle like this, and then there was like a point of light up here, and it completely covered the whole circle. Okay, just like if you had a flashlight, the whole circle fit inside this light, and the single focus point at the very top, providing all that light. I couldn't get the name of what he wanted to say, but the client called it Prime Creator. And what he means by Prime Creator is basically what I mean when I say highest, holiest, source, creator, energy, God. Now, there are people who worship gods, but only one God creates. Okay, that's the Jesus God. That would be the same thing as like, it would be all in line with like Jesus kind of thing, and the Creator God. Okay, and so the creationary aspect, so of like source creator. Okay, but it's prime creator. Prime creator created all. It's like the highest. And so it loves its creation. Okay? It's constantly giving, like it's this white light, divine healing light energy, constantly giving it to its creation. So it's my client, but it's also you, it's also me. So there's this focused point, prime creator, that is at all times providing this divine healing energy in the form of like white light, but the body or whatever needs healing can take the white light, break it down into whatever it needs, and give it a color to heal whatever needs to be healed. So as you raise your vibration, and as you think peacefully and lovingly, you raise your vibration, you expand, and as you expand the particles of yourself to smaller and smaller, your particles, your light particles, can get bathed in that white light, and it can use the color in the light to heal itself. So when you're really compacted and contracted, no light can get in. But then there's, as you expand, and the light particles, the divine healing energy, the highest, that light that's given abundantly, there's plenty. You can't run out. It's impossible to run out. It always is coming. It's always coming. It's how much are you open to receiving. If you hate yourself, if you feel guilty, you feel shame, you don't feel like you deserve that love, that healing energy, whatever. So you're contracting, no healing can get in there. All right, and there was a thing with the hertz in music was changed from like four, it was changed by like 2 hertz or something like that. And the energy pattern after it was changed, I think in the 30s, the energy pattern of the new hertz is very compacted. So no healing energy can get in. It's compacted. And then the way it used to be was more open, so the light can get in. You can research that for yourself. Just look up music frequency changed. You can look that up for yourself if you want to. There's a bunch of different videos. Okay, so by closing people off, contracting them, they're not open to receiving as much divine love, healing as possible. And then people have turned all kinds of things into religions. All kinds of things that you have to believe like them or they hate you. Okay, so it's all these different things. You have to believe this or you're that. You have to believe in this or you're that. And I love Sam Harris says, they call us an atheist as if we're missing something when why isn't the, onus on someone to prove something? So he says it way better. I think he's a neat person. He's very funny, he's very mellow, he doesn't get excited. I think he'd be like the easiest person in the world to have an actual conversation with. because he doesn't get passion. He doesn't get crazy. Okay, so this light that is given from Prime Creator, the light is always, always the highest best. So the light is always there for you without any obligation. So you don't have to deserve it. You don't have to be or do anything differently. Just open to receive the light. So the light is given abundantly, feeding, supporting, and healing abundantly all the time to every cell in your body. It's up to you whether you choose to allow yourself to receive it. Give yourself permission to heal in your own highest best interest, because the light's always coming. Whether you use it or not, it doesn't matter, because it's an abundant supply. Every single speck of the light, as you take it in, it's raising you, it's raising you, it's raising you. So it's like you allow in a little, it's raising you a little. You take in a lot, it's raising you a lot. Not that you're going to get to 1,000 level vibration in 10 minutes, you know, but as you allow yourself and as you give yourself permission to receive that abundant supply of the divine healing energy, that energy has in it, it's like information, or it has a code, it has a frequency, a code, it has information that the more that gets in, it naturally raises you. It's as you receive this information, this energy, you know, as you receive this information in the form of energy, it's like asks you to be better, asks you to be better, asks you to be better. So it's like, it's just like any information would be if you take a class and then you can pass a test in a month. So as you receive the information, but all the information in this light healing energy is asking you to be better, asking you for a higher vibrational existence, asking you to raise your vibration, asking you to heal yourself. I hope this makes sense. So this is how it's going to go from now on. Love you. Thank you.